welcome to finally, after a year of launching this triathlon channel, my first triathlon race day video. Here we go. So tomorrow I take on the Fix Events All Nations Triathlon over in Dorney Lake, and it's a fair old time since I raced last time, particularly a triathlon. We're probably talking 18 months, maybe longer, I don't know, something along those lines. I always use this race every year as my season opener. I find it a really good event. It's only a sprint distance. If you're not familiar what that is, you know, it's a 400 metre swim on this one. Usually it's a little bit longer, but 400 metre swim, 20k bike and a 5k run. So it's always a good season opener in that it gives you a chance to blow some of those cobwebs away, some of that rustiness, and I think there'll be a fair amount of that considering the length of time since my last triathlon race. Now it isn't too much of an early one tomorrow. My race isn't till 10:15, so I haven't got to get up at stupid o'clock, but I've still got to go up fairly early to get myself across to the other side of London. You know, if you're not familiar where Dorney is, it's sort of Windsor way, and I'm based east way, so you've got to get myself over there, and going through London is not really something that I'm going to do. So I've got to also get all my gear ready tonight. That's going to be another job in itself, because getting my head around all the stuff that I need. Yeah, the weather isn't looking too great either tomorrow, which is a slight worry. It's looking really wet and windy, so, but you know what? So what? I've not done a triathlon in so long, so forget that. Let's get on with it. Let's get myself ready and try and get my head around all this gear I've got to sort. So earlier on in the week I made a few changes to the bike, particularly with the bars and the position, and I have booked a bike fit which I've got lined up next weekend. So I've just been fiddling with it. I've still got a few things to do tonight, because at the moment I've got no brakes, so brakes are important, particularly in tomorrow's weather, so I've got to sort those out and get some brake cables on. I did change them because they were a bit rusty and needed it, but I'm not going to go too much into the bike and the setup and that. I'll do a separate video on that once I've had my fit and everything, and I'll show you what my race bike is and what I'm running and that kind of thing. We'll save that one for another time. Now, I don't know about you, but my wetsuit lives outside, so there she is. Now, one thing I am a little bit apprehensive about tomorrow is the water. It's been pretty cold lately. I've not done any open water swimming this year. And the reason I say I'm apprehensive is because tomorrow is a socially distant swim, so they're setting us off every couple of seconds. What I'm a little bit concerned about is whether they're going to let us acclimatise to the water. I think currently it's 12 degrees, which is nippy, and I don't tend to get into the water, into the open water, till sort of mid-May, late May, that kind of time. So it might be a bit of a shock to the system. So I'm hoping they let us acclimatise, because if they don't, you know, I'm a little bit worried about that. And what can you do? We'll find out tomorrow. Hopefully they do. It's not worth worrying about, is it? Morning guys, race morning. Finally here, and it's going to be a wet one, a real wet one. Miserable out there. Anyway, get some breakfast. It's going to leave home about 7:30. It's just gone 6 now. And then make my way up there. It takes about an hour and a half, so should give me enough time to arrive about 9 o'clock. Give me about an hour and a bit to set up, ready for racing. So people often ask me what I eat on race morning. what my go-to breakfast is, and that's quite simple. Oats porridge. Stick a banana on it, a bit of syrup. Bob's your uncle. Does the job for me. And I'll probably eat another banana or so about an hour before race time, but I don't know, I like to eat about somewhere between 2 to 3 hours before race, just to let it move through the system, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's my go-to race meal. I've tried other things, but porridge is always the best thing, really. I don't really get any stitches from it or anything like that, so that's what we go with. So we've arrived and we've got about an hour and 10 before race time, and I'm still in the car. I can't face getting out. But I'm going to head into transition in a minute, get sorted, get racked up, and hopefully find some shelter. I will do my best to try and capture as much of this race as I can, although to be honest it's a bit difficult because I'm on my own. But hopefully I can try and capture a little bit of the race atmosphere and transition and that kind of thing. So see you over there. So guys, that's the race done. What can I say about that other than it was tough because of the conditions. The water was freezing, there was no acclimatization, it was straight in and swim. And yeah, I really felt that. It took me probably halfway through the first sort of 100 meters to really find any sort of feeling and not drown. But the actual swim wasn't too bad. I don't really know what my splits were, but the bike was treacherous. It really was. I mean, the wind coming right across the lake, you had to sort of lean into it or cycle into it to stay on the path. That's how windy it was. The run was not so bad. I think I run pretty well actually, considering I don't really know my splits. I know my time wasn't nowhere near as good as what it was a couple of years ago, but I think that's probably down to the conditions. I don't feel terribly unfit, and I know I'm not as fit probably as I was then, but so we'll analyse the race when I get home. I've got to get my stuff together, get home, get warm, because I was absolutely freezing. And that was the other thing, transition was so slow because I could not feel my feet, I could not feel my hands. And yeah, trying to get my trainers on when you can't feel anything is absolutely impossible. We'll look at these things in another vlog, because I'll look at this race in a bit more detail, but I'm going to leave today's race vlog there. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I do apologise that I can't really capture much of the race. It's always difficult when you're on your own and you've got so much gear and you've got to think about filming. I need the wife here, should be good at that. Anyway, I'll catch you soon. I'll catch you in the week, because I'll do a race report. See you then.